Are you a football fan? Have you seen Ronaldinho doing the blind pass, or JJ Okocha doing the blind pass? Now, have you discovered that I don't know how to explain that, but then if you want to understand this better, if you're online, just go on YouTube and then type blind pass by Ronaldinho. You're going to see lots of playbacks, playbacks, repetition and all of that will show you the number of times he did the blind pass on the field, on the pitch, on the field. Now, maybe 1 or 2 times mistakes, but then you just know that this is at this point, he does not need that consciousness to think before he's doing it. One of the ways you exhibit unconscious competence is when you eat. You don't need to think much to eat. In fact, what happens is you even eat and then you're talking. Another way, or another thing, another skill that can actually show this is driving. I remember when I was trying to learn how to drive, it was not funny. You want to change the gear, all your mind, your eye, you leave the windscreen and then you're looking at the gear trying to change. And as you're trying to do the changes, the car is jerking. You know that. And all of those movements. But then with time, there's a point you get to where you're making calls and you're changing gears. You're eating, you're on the steering. Sometimes you don't hold the steering, but that's risky. Please don't try that at home. So that's where you get to the point where you begin to experience the unconscious competence stage of skill development. That's real sweet. That's real sweet. At this point, like what I said, at this point you are attaining mastery. And there's something I know when it comes to mastery. I think I've said something like that. I put it this way. Mastery is when your skill becomes an unconscious effort. When you don't have to, think through, think over, think again. No, before you do something. No. At that point, your skill has become intuition. Your skill is now intuition. So it's part of you. It's part of you. So what most people see at that point in your life is that they said, the guy is a master, the guy is a guru, the guy is lucky. How often will you be lucky? How often will you be lucky? Another person that exhibited that is Michael Jordan, the basketball thing. Oh, you need to watch these legends. Then David Beckham with the free kick thing, Juninho with the free kick thing. That's where the skill becomes one-on-one with you. You become one with the skill. You don't think too much to do it. So you wake up and then they tell you to come and speak. Yes, you have that initial push, but then you just wake up and then you climb and then you're speaking. You can wake up at any time and then you start writing, and you write so intelligently. Somebody said, at this unconscious competence level, your skill becomes second nature. Okay? Becomes second nature. You can even teach it to others. You can do it with others and even teach it to others. You're so good. Messi is so good. Ronaldo is so good. I think they are exhibiting the 4th stage of skill development when it comes to football. Pele was. So these are the 4 stages. So think about these 4 stages and ask yourself, where are you in whatever you want to learn? Where are you in whatever you want to learn? Where are you in whatever you want to learn? And I will just say maybe a few things and then I will stop. Now, the underlying thing that controls this most especially is the act of practice. Oh, there's nothing that can replace practice. Nothing. Now, to an extent, even when you don't have a goal, but you're practicing, mastery is increased. You gain mastery by practicing. There's no second way. Even when you don't have a goal for it, like I said, okay, but you keep practicing that thing. After a point, you're so good at it. Have you seen persons who there's something they did not like to do? They never thought they would be good at it. Let's say something like chess. Yes. Oh, chess gives a very good ideology on that. Yes. Chess. You play chess. After a while, you become so good. Especially when you have it as a challenge. For some of us who have PlayStation games, Xbox, I am sure you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I just hit it now. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So the more you practice, the more you get these things. And then lastly, there's what's called the being, doing, and having. Maybe one of these Mondays we'll have to do that and then maybe share with us so that we learn to being, doing, having. BING, DOING, and then HAVING. Being, doing, having. Being talks about, the person, the personality. Like, for example, the intangible realm. This is what I want to do. I want to be good with this. So you're studying, you're meditating, you're imagining, you're reflecting, you're talking about it, you're saying it, positive affirmation. You're looking at it, you're dreaming it. You soak yourself with the knowledge. Then doing, you start acting, you start practicing, you start acting, you start practicing, you start acting, you start practicing, you start acting, you start practicing. You're making mistakes, you're not stopping. You're making mistakes, you're not stopping. You're going for it, you're putting more effort. At a point, you start seeing the having, you start seeing the results. That's why I don't envy people like Cristiano Ronaldo. In fact, somehow I'm focusing on his life because I've seen there's a whole lot about him that most of us don't know about success. Success is beyond gifts. Yes. He has practiced a lot. If you can't, go and check his regiment. Just type training schedule of Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever, and then you will see things for yourself. So the same thing for the skill you want to learn. Remember the 4 stages? The 4 stage is unconscious incompetence. You don't know you don't have it. You don't know you need it. You don't know how to do it. Then conscious incompetence. You now know I need this thing, but yet you're not competent. Then conscious competence. You can do it, but it's not second nature yet. Then unconscious competence. This is where your skill becomes second nature. So what we should be aiming at is to increase our competence to a point where we become masters. We master it without thinking too much. When we are called to perform it, increase competence with unconsciousness. Increase competence with unconsciousness. One more time, this is the Niche Employee Show. And you know what? I am Chooks Nabuni Jr. We help employees to create a personal brand.